Hello and welcome back to Clint's Workshop. Here we are, and it's a bit warmer today than last week. We're going to continue from where we left off last week actually, but anyway, thanks for coming back to us, and we'll do the follow-up. Okay, if you remember, we'd got this set up before. Okay, I'll put some light on the scene. That was setting up an irregular shaped object in the 4-jaw chuck, and we're going to continue from there. However, as you might guess, I just have a couple of announcements. Well, one anyway. One is that thank you for people who subscribed last week. We had a subscription which was notified, and that was from Sam Dell. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. And also we had 2 more subscriptions, and I wasn't notified, so I don't know who they are, because if the notification settings are not set up, I won't know, but sometimes I do. So anyway, we're going to continue with this particular thing, and I'm going to try a little experiment today. I came across these pastels. Yeah, they're art pastels. It's when I was studying art and design at college at uni, and I just come across them because I thought I don't use them much these days. But today, what I want to do is to mark out the centre of this irregular shape there, and normally you would use engineer's blue to mark it. Now I thought that can get quite messy. You get blue stuff all over your fingers and stuff. Now, some time ago, when I was within heavy engineering, what we used to do when we got for marking compounds and stuff, we as policy, we used as a marking compound iron ore, hematite iron ore. And what you did, you got a piece of iron ore, spit on it. Yeah, this was what happened. Don't propose to spit on anything today, especially in these tragic conditions that we're prevailing. So, and then we used to rub it on the object that we're going to mark, and it gave a nice red. So, I'm thinking these pastels, we might be able to make a marking surface with it and colour it so we can see it. And it's relatively easy to get off anyway, because they're water soluble. I'm not going to spit on them, but I think we'll try that anyway and see what happens. So let's get it organised. Here we go. You've got this thing here. You remember the scribing block, which is essential. Anybody who's only got a 4-jaw chuck, this is essential for setting up. And you can also set up with marking it with chalk, actually, French chalk, on the bar stock if it's not perfectly symmetrical. This little tool is fantastic. Anyway, we'll look at that again later. In the meantime, I'm going to take this piece out of the chuck, okay? Let's put my glasses on, safety glasses as well. So what I shall do, I'll move this out of the way for a start. And then remember we had markings on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've kept them on just to save a bit of time, because I don't want I don't want to bore everybody with simple things. But as a matter of interest, my watch time on this last video, I know it was relatively short, but I think it was about 20 minutes or something like that. We got more than twice the amount of view time on that, which is nice. and also on the subscriptions, like we're up to 59 now. After this week, can we make it 79 or 89? That'd be nice. I'm trying to have an initial target of 100, which is 10% of my 1,000. So please subscribe. I really would like you to do that. I appreciate it, so thanks. So here we're looking at this piece now here. What we're going to mark. Yes. So I'm going to centralise this. So to do it, we need to put some marking compound on. And for that purpose, I'm going to try to experiment with some artist pastels. They're very good quality ones, these actually. And we've got a choice for colours. I think I could try with a black. Never been used. So, hang on a bit. They're quite expensive, those pastels actually, they're professional, as you might imagine. Anyway, they do last a long time. So, what you usually do with the pastels when you're using paper is use a craft knife, which is not in this workshop, it's in another workshop I've got. So I'm going to use this this cutter. It's a big craft knife, and then let me see if you can see this. I've got to set this up right there. Yep. So we scrape a bit off there like that. Okay. Now see what happens. That's coming black. That's not looking so bad. So I'll try a bit more. I wanted to cross the diagonals first. So this is where we're going to do the setting. We're going to scribe a line. Across here. Like so. I'll see if we can rub it in like this. Oh yeah. I think that's okay. And then I'm going to scribe a circle on that when I get the centre of it. So first of all, a bit more like that. Well, it is an experiment, of course. So people say, well, it's messy, I suppose. I've got a black finger, but I think it will come off easier because it's water soluble. So I'll just wash my hands, but not just it's coming off now. Look, I don't like getting mucky. I don't like getting mucky and dirt and stuff. So anyway, there we go, we've got that. Blow the excess off, and then scribe a line across the diagonals. That's 2 lines. Oops. Get it near enough. The Faithful Workshop scriber. Now you may not see these lines like I can, but because of the light, but try to, you see that one better, and turn it around, do this one. Oops. Just take it exactly to the corners, but it's in the centre where you really need it most, and I can see it there better probably. There. Can you see that better there? I think that's a centre mark there. And so where those lines intersect, I'll just try to score it a little bit deeper for you who are watching, if you can see it. It's not good practice to do this, you only scribe once really, but I think it's quite clearly defined there. I can see it, but I don't know if the camera will pick it up exactly. So let's see. Put the scribe down. Next thing, mark it with a centre punch. Homemade centre punch. I made it years ago. So put a centre mark there. Trying to get it exactly there. And that's been a slight indentation. And then here's what we have now. We're going to scribe a circle down here, and it's about 2.5 inch diameter circle. It's only a small centre mark that. But before I do that, I was going to put some more marker on, but I think we can get away with it without doing. I mean, I can see the line scribed round. That's that. So I hope you can see it. I could put some more marking compound there and there and there and there, but I can see it for setting up purposes, and when you're doing it you will find the same. Okay. So then what we do, where they intersect there on that line, a little centre mark, and this one, two, wow. might have to see this one myself. Yeah. I'm not happy about that. So I'll just put this on again. Yeah. That's better. Oh yeah. That's the third one. And the fourth one here. Okay. Now it is possible if you want to go further around the circumference of it. Try to put it around there, another one. And another one here. I mean, you'd use a nice marking out table for this really, but this will do it. It's a bit thin there. I really should have, in hindsight, put some black marker there as well. No, I haven't done that. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'll indent these a little bit more so you can see them when we're setting up. This might be difficult to see. Going a bit deeper than I would normally do, but this is just for doing what you can do. If these indentations are too much, you just machine them out, so there's no problem there. So I'm going to see the setting up process so that it'll make it easy for you to see. Okay, right, that's that. Oh. So, as I said, I'd mark the I've still got these marks on this one. That's 3, that's 4, oh, yep. So I'll just make sure that the chuck is clean. Get the dust off it anyway. And then there. I'm pressing it against the face of the jaws. Then we'll see how far it is off. Okay, so take this away. I always try to put things away immediately, because if you don't, put them somewhere where you don't usually put things, you lose them. Anyway, here we are. Down there. This is where we need this again. Okay? And I'll try to bring this round here so they can see markings. I'm not sure whether this is going to work or whether you can see them, but if I set this one at that point there, you don't touch the metal, don't touch the workpiece, but it's there, and I'm going to see if I can see. You can see a shadow, but it's it is very difficult. Oh yeah, I can see a bit of it. So you can see, if you make it so there's a shadow there, that does help. Difficult for me to know this, so I'm hoping you can see it. So that would want to get them all alike there, and not too far out actually. It's just a little bit out there, and you'll notice that this plate is not exactly uniform in thickness, so it's moving away slightly. I'll just tap it to see if it move that out of the way. I don't need that hammer. Yeah. So what we're doing is centralising it prior to machining. A little bit under, a little bit under there, a little bit under there. It's okay. Over. It's not too far off as it is. But it's definitely not, it's under there. So what I've got to do, I've got to tighten that jaw there to start. Slightly. Because you know, setting up time is half the time. It takes most of the time. Setting up can take more time than it does to do the job. Right, so that's under there. So I want to move this jaw down a bit, so we have to slacken this one slightly, not a lot, and you'll get used to doing this. But this is always a little bit awkward on this type of material. You know, the shape of it. So yeah, I could pause this, but I don't want to pause it. I hope you can see what I can see actually, but I'm not sure that you can. I'm working mainly on these two here. That one's okay. I'm seeing a circle, and you won't get you won't get this exact right, because you might even there might be a variation on whether you put the pot marks. If you've gone off the line slightly, that could affect it. So I'm just making an adjustment here. To line that up there. And it's quite still a bit out just there, so I'm going to tighten this one up, make it a bit more. You've got to have patience, you know, if you're doing this job. No, I think it could still go a bit more even. It's getting there, it's getting there. Oops. Tighten it up. Yeah. And then we can start, or you can start machining if you want. That's that. Okay, now this is looking better. Now the idea, of course, once you've bored a hole in that, it's much easier to get the edges true, and then as you can, for machining purposes, because you've got the central bit. This is not a square. It looks like a square, but it isn't. So it's only just looks like one. What I'm going to do is I'm just move this out of the way a little bit, and I'm going to just spin the machine a bit faster. Whether you can see that marking on it, I don't know, but let's see, shall we? Oh. You've got to make sure everything's out of the way. Yeah. Now, you can see it, I can see it actually better, and what we've got is if I approach that in there, don't know whether you can see it or not, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try to put it in a different position just to see if we can get a better shadow on it. Oops. There. Let's see. So that's the circle. I think you might just see it. I think we can. But that's the principle of it anyway. And that's set up as near enough for this particular job. Because you do get variations when you're putting the pot marks on. So the accuracy when you come to study it, when you machine it, is in the machining. So that's roughly near enough. I'm a bit of a stickler. I try to get closer still, you know, but that's near enough. In fact, what I would do if I were going to machine that now, I would just nip it up all four. needed to do that because that one was a bit slacker than the others, and it would still be near enough for the job. You'll notice that I might have gone slightly off my mark on that one, but what I'm saying is that's near enough to do the job. When you're setting up other material, let me stop this machine. When you set, when you're setting up with a bar stock, then it's a lot easier because, for instance, bar stock like that, you would set it up with the on the top from an actual datum to work on there, on the outer diameter. Sorry, I want the outer diameter on this one. So you'd use this, and that's how you'd set it, which is a lot easier than doing this. But this is awkward. So I want to do an awkward one first, because that's what 4-jaw chucks are for, doing these awkward jobs. And this, you might think would be better on a 3-jaw chuck, but it might not be, because there's a slight variation on diameters. So even if you've got a 3-jaw chuck and you could fit this in, I would still use a 4-jaw chuck, because you can get it spinning very accurately on it, and it's not easy to set up on that. We'll do that another time on that one. So this must have been terribly boring for people who are not interested, but I can't help it. It's just had to be done, and I can sort of machine this now, and if I started machining this, and it would be even more boring for you. But personally, I don't want to machine this piece. I want it as it is, and the only thing I would do would be to bore a hole in there, and what I can do in another video, I can do a bit of a boring thing, but I don't want to do it now because it takes too long, and you've had enough today. I've had enough. But it could be the subject of another video, the boring thing. So in the meantime, well, you could check that one out. That might be okay for you. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I really need some more subscribers, and I do appreciate those who subscribed already. And for those who specifically wanted to look at the 4-jaw chuck, this is as boring as it gets. But as I say, I'm sorry about this, but there is some things in engineering that are a bit boring and fiddly. And I don't know whether you could see what we're doing there. But anyway, check it out. See ya. See you next time. Bye.